Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Excellencies, dear friends. First of all, I am very happy to have this exceptional opportunity to speak to such a highly distinguished audience. It is our first meeting of this kind in my current capacity, and I am hopeful that we will have many more similar occasions to exchange our opinions and discuss the questions of the day. Anyone being familiar with the recent history of Georgia would know about the very special role that the international presence, or to be more precise, diplomats of the friendly nations, has played in the most crucial and critical moments of our recent past. Let me assure you, Your Excellency, that your role and your involvement in our efforts to build democracy, rule of law, and prosperity for our citizens is and will remain highly appreciated. Dear friends, we are approaching the end of 2013. The end of the year is, of course, the most appropriate time to take stock of the achievements and shortcomings of the departing year and to look at the new 2014 with faith and determination. 2013 was a year full of various memorable events in Georgia. But if I have to put it shortly, I would suggest that 2013 has been important in this country for two reasons. First of all, Georgian democracy is slowly completing its painful process of democratic transition and proceeding to the next stage of democratic consolidation. October presidential elections have been praised as a sign of a more mature Georgian democracy. Besides, on several occasions, the people of Georgia made it clear that they will not tolerate too long any deviation from the path to democracy. And I believe that this attitude is one of the biggest assets of the nation. As another sign of Georgia's democratic consolidation, the Georgian parliament passed constitutional amendments which restored a more democratic system of checks and balances between the legislative and executive branches of power. Efforts are being made to make the judiciary freer in its activities and decisions. The courts are regaining trust and respect of people, which is a fundamental component for any fully functioning judicial system. Georgian media is as free from political pressure as in any other democracy. Despite the economic constraints sweeping the whole continent, we are implementing social and economic reforms. We are doubling welfare support and providing health insurance to those who need it. Georgia is a country where doing business is easy and businesses freely operate in a competitive environment, with strong guarantees of private property rights. And this achievement acquires an added value with the association agreement initiated a month ago in Vilnius, which also includes deep and comprehensive free trade area. The mentioned DCFTA opens up tremendous opportunities for business and investments in Georgia. Namely, it provides Georgian goods and services with a unique chance to reach one of the largest markets in the world. And it obviously increases our attractiveness as a viable investment destination. I expect that these new opportunities will be duly seized by the international business community, and sooner than later, we will reap the benefits of the deep and comprehensive free trade area with the European Union. And this brings me to the next important event that marked Georgia significantly in 2013. 3 weeks ago, Georgia initialed the association agreement with the European Union at the Eastern Partnership Vilnius Summit. First of all, let me thank the Lithuanian EU presidency for organizing this summit of historical importance. I would also like to thank all of those nations of the European Union who have made exceptional efforts to develop and advance the Eastern Partnership policy, which has offered us an unprecedented opportunity to move further in terms of political association and economic integration with the European Union. The Eastern Partnership Policy has been a groundbreaking initiative for the willing Eastern European partners. And importantly, the process within this policy rests on the merits of each individual partner. Those partners who are ready to do more to pass the test of the legal, economic, and political reforms promoted by the European Union are invited to deepen their economic and political ties with the European Union. This is indeed an important encouragement for the process of Georgia's democratic consolidation and economic modernization. Dear friends, we are doing everything necessary to sign the association agreement by September next year or sooner, hopefully. Moreover, we are ready to start the implementation of the provisions of the agreement. As for the situation in Ukraine, we believe that countries must be free in their choice. But in addition, I am convinced that the Ukrainian government will find a solution that reflects the interests of Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. Your Excellencies, European and Euro-Atlantic integration is Georgia's biggest national project. We are making considerable progress in meeting the requirements set out by the NATO allies for NATO aspirant countries. And we hope that soon our progress will be duly acknowledged in subsequent decisions of the NATO member states, and we will further deepen our partnership in line with the NATO Bucharest Summit decisions. And in this process of European and Euro-Atlantic integration, we want our partners to know that it is not our intention to only benefit from our relations with the NATO or the EU. We are taking an active part in the NATO-led International Security Assistance Force in Afghanistan. Besides, in Vilnius, we signed an agreement that will allow Georgia to participate in the EU crisis management operations. We are willing and ready to share the burden of the European and Euro-Atlantic security. Dear friends, although 20% of our country remains occupied and installation of barbed wire fences along the administrative borderline is the cause of serious humanitarian predicament, the direct dialogue between Georgia and Russia, launched last year, has already brought some certain results. It is our wish to continue this dialogue and gradually solve complicated and sensitive issues. The reconsideration of a visa-free travel for Georgian citizens by Russia will be a positive step, we think, in terms of promoting people-to-people relations. The recent positive steps in relations between the two countries allow for a certain degree of optimism. You are all aware of the efforts of my government to gradually de-escalate the tense relations with the Russian Federation without detriment to Georgia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And as pledged, our efforts to restore territorial integrity will remain peaceful. At the same time, no one in this room needs to be reminded that the constant engagement and support of the democratic nations is an indispensable component of all our efforts, not least in the year 2014. Your Excellencies, we are continuing active strategic cooperation with the United States. The year 2013 was marked by intensive and fruitful exchanges at all levels of government, as well as of non-governmental sector, and our relations are deepening in a consistent manner in all major directions in line with the US-Georgia Strategic Charter. In terms of regional cooperation with our neighbors, we are convinced that further development of relations with Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Armenia will gain momentum. And I would like to emphasize that although our country steadfastly pursues its course toward European integration, we are willing to cooperate with everyone whose foreign policy vision and vector differ from those of Georgia. At the same time, we are committed to respect their choice. The last year has been significant also in terms of extending our global reach to the remote regions of the world. We have established or deepened our bilateral cooperation with the leading countries of Asia, Latin America, and Africa. And these efforts will further be intensified next year. And our bilateral ties with our friends and partners, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Japan, to name just a few, will become stronger. And at the end, I would like to once again express my deep gratitude on behalf of my government and the people of Georgia for your support, your assistance, and your encouragement. With the new year 2014 already knocking on the door, as we say, let me wish you a very happy new year and successful work to the benefit of the friendship between our nations. Thank you.